Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Astro Medicine Woman and I'm here to talk about the Aquarius full moon that's happening on August 15th. And I'm super excited for this full moon because of Aquarius energy is just one of my favorites. I'm an air sign, so I connect deeply with this, and I also have some Leo influences. So let's talk about this full moon in general. This full moon is about the sun being in Leo and the moon being in Aquarius. So we have an opposition going on during the full moons. And during the full moons, it's a time when it creates a lot of tension and it pushes things out of us, right? It pushes things that remained in the dark, but that need to come out to the surface. And Leo energy is all about being spontaneous. It's all about being confident. It's all about being fiery. And we have that being in opposition with something, with an energy of the moon that just wants to be detached. With Aquarius, it just wants to be a rebel, right? It wants to be a humanitarian. It wants to be in its head. It wants to be intellectual. It wants to be different. It wants to not stand out or have attention like Leo does, right? So we have an opposition here, and sometimes when we do have a full moon in Aquarius, we can tend to have very discomforting feelings in regards to wanting to stand out or have attention and also to be unique. When we have these two polarities playing with each other, this can kind of be a theme for some people, but we have an even greater influence happening right now with the sun and Venus being in conjunction and then the moon and Venus being in opposition. So anytime we have the sun and Venus in conjunction, this highlights and brings into focus our love life, our money, and our friendships. How we're getting our money, so this could be our career too, our passions if we're doing art, most of all our most intimate relationships. That's what it brings to focus. And so Venus and the sun right now is really wanting us to express authentic love. We're in Leo energy, so we're wanting to in general express our most authentic self. We're wanting to love ourselves deeper. That's what Leo season teaches us. It teaches us to accept ourselves for who we are. And even though at times we do want all this attention, we do want all this glamour, the deep-seated wisdom behind all of that and behind all the facade is to love who you are underneath the surface. So it becomes a lesson of authentic self-love and love for others. With that being said, we have this need with the sun being in conjunct in the same sign as Venus, the planet of love. We have this need to give our love, and to think that because we are giving this love, because we are giving so much, because we're spoiling our partner, we will receive the attention and the love that we think that we deserve or that we have been aiming to get. So the only thing that could be problematic with this is that, one, we have expectations on what we're giving. We have expectations that the other people will perform as good as us, and we have expectations on ourselves and what it is exactly that we can provide, and that ends up being attached to our identity, right? So we have our actions being attached to our identity. We have all this fire energy going on. So it's a lot of do, action-oriented energy. We have about five planets in fire signs, and we also have a lot of fixed energy going on. So believe it or not, for this full moon, we are looking at a lot of stubbornness. We are looking at a lot of maybe temper tantrums, hot-headedness, saying things on a whim, a lot of stuck anger. And this fixed energy is very determined, We have the Leo and Aquarius, very fixated, determined energy, but it's also very loyal energy. So it's energy that's very motivated and can really stick with something. So with a lot of us with this full moon, not only in regards to love, but in regards to what we are doing with our life and with our purpose, it's really asking us to step forward and look at what it is that we're doing. So what makes you determined, what makes you motivated, what can you actually stick with? This could be a change in a lot of things. When the full moon comes around, it swifts out changes, especially because we just got done with Mercury retrograde. We just got done with eclipse season. So right now is a really great time to ask yourself, what can you actually stick with? What is something that you always talk about, you always plan to do, or maybe something you get going and you start doing it, but you never stick with it? What is something that you really want to stick with for this full moon? So I invite you all to have that intention with yourself to stick with something. And because this is the moment where we can use this fixated energy to our advantage and not just fall on the lower vibration of fixed energy, which would be, stubbornness and unadaptability. Now we're able to actually use our intention and stick with something and use our power, because fixed energy has a lot of power to be loyal to something, to stick with something, to be determined. And back onto the Venus energy, right now is a great time because we do have the moon in Aquarius. It's a great time to stick with something that can benefit humanity. Aquarius is a sign that benefits humanity with its ideas, with its inventions. We have Aquarius and Taurus, so this is bringing about sporadic change and sporadic evolution and inventions. So how are you helping the earth? How are you creating new things for humanity? All of this can be something that is invented to better humanity for this full moon, and I invite you to also make intentions upon that. We also want to look at the moon being in opposition with Venus, and this is actually one of the most prominent situations that we want to look at for this full moon, because it can cause a lot of tension within, like I said, our ability to give to others and to express our authentic love, because we expect in return, and we think that if we give this love, then it's gonna come back. But this is never the case, because we have to learn and we have to accept that when we let go of trying to control something outside of ourselves, something external to us, then we don't get what we actually desire. If we try to control circumstances that just need to be put in the hands of the universe, or we try to control self-image, or we try to control the way someone should be treating us, we run into patterns of our past self. We run into situations where we become manipulative, or we run into false ideas as far as what real pleasure is. And that's because we have high standards and expectations onto what needs to be received and what kind of attention we think that we want. And this all falls into losing the actual pleasure and love that we wanted in the first place, because the deeper wisdom within this all is that when we let go of control, when we just learn to release and trust and to give without expectations and to love without any circumstances, that is when we begin to experience more pleasure in our lives, in our relationships, in our friendships. And this can even be applied to work and how you receive your money, or how you receive anything that you get in return for what you do. Because when we let go, uh, we're open to change. We're open to love even deeper. We're open to other circumstances that maybe prove more blessings. And this allows more pleasure to happen. So right now, because we have all this fixed energy, we're wanting to stay so put. But if we find a deeper wisdom into mutable energy, into going with the flow, into being open to change, we allow ourselves to fully incorporate this lesson of Leo energy, which allows us to be our most confident self and our most authentic self, to where we get this love and admiration for who we are. Because that's what Leo wants more than anything, especially during Leo season, is to just be admired and to be appreciated for what we do, for what we give out, and for our loyalness. Also, I do want to highlight that we have a moon opposite Mars as well. So Mars is also a part of the picture. We have Sun, Venus, Mercury, and Mars all in Leo. And that can cause, especially being opposite moon, being opposite Mars, we can expect a lot of hot-headedness, like I said. So some people are going to have high expectations. Some people are going to get straight bored with you. Some people are just going to have so much fire energy that their stress overload is making them become more short-tempered, aggressive, and this could be from not getting what you think you deserve. This could be from a partnership that is just being really boring to you. A lot of change in the partnership section of our lives, because we are learning how to express ourselves more authentically and love more authentically. And we sometimes need this change of energy to view different perspectives of who we are, or maybe who we're with. And so really, I like to use this as an opportunity to let go of my past and to not be so fixated, even though we have so much energy of fixation, but to learn how to go with the tides and know that even though stuff feels really weird right now and we have a full moon coming and people are hot-tempered and people will be disrespected, use it as a time to just meet people where they're at. See people for who they truly are and not who they say they are. So see people for what they do and who they show up as. But honor the sacred soul within them that shines within you. Because true wisdom is remembering our sovereignty and remembering that we all come from the same thing. So even if we do have some people who are short-tempered, or having anger issues, to know that that is their karma and that is not personal, and to not let other people's actions or behaviors affect how you could be feeling in the moment. So I invite you to let go of false identities, let go of your past self, and take off this need or these false beliefs that if you control some certain aspect of who you are, others will give you attention, others will give you love, and to let go of a need to be so different that that's what's going to give you the attention that you want. Because that's still controlling Aquarius energy. That's still controlling a need or a fixation of wanting to be seen, when really what we need to do is honor our solar plexus and see ourselves for who we are at our core. And to remember our wisdom within every moment that we reach out and try to fixate or control something, or that we have expectations on love or on others. To reach out and to remember our deepest wisdom in who we are, to loving and honoring who we are and appreciating what we do ourselves, so that we're not looking outside of ourselves for others to appreciate or admire us. And that is one of the deepest lessons that this full moon, not only this full moon can teach us, but Leo season in general. So be easy with yourself. It is a full moon, you know, it's going to cause some inner tension. Anytime we have multiple oppositions within astral bodies, we will experience some kind of internal turmoil that's flipping the mirror back around on us and allowing us to question deeper aspects of ourselves that we may have been ignoring, because a lot of the subconscious energy rises to the surface. And if you guys have any more questions about this full moon, just please reach out to me. I'm available for open discussion or even birth chart readings to kind of figure out where you stand for this full moon and how it's affecting you, because even though this is a general reading for everyone, this full moons and the new moons and everything else that happens really does affect us a little differently on an individual level. So please don't be afraid to reach out and ask me any questions that you might have. And please subscribe to my channel. I've been gone for like 2 months, but that's just because I've felt a need to really just focus deeper on my study and going within. And also I've been writing a book. So please subscribe to my channel. I'm on my way to 200 subscribers. It's been a journey so far, but I'm always looking forward to building my YouTube channel, and feel very blessed to be able to have such a strong passion for this and to share what I know for others to hopefully make an impact. So thanks so much for watching.